What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon MLB DFS video. This is for Thursday, June 1st. We are already through May. I can't believe it. We are like 98 days from kickoff for opening night of NFL. But we are back with an MLB DFS breakdown. Hopefully, this video finds you doing well. We have a smaller slate. We have 7 games. Probably more of a tournament type night with 7 games, but we'll see. We'll dig in. If you have any questions, get those down below. Hopefully, if you've been here before, you know the drill. If you're new here, we're going to go through every game. We're going to look at the pitching. We're going to look at some of the bats that we like. I did see a suggestion of when we go over the bats to talk about the positions, which I'll try to do. I should know most of them. We'll see if I can get it correct. If you know what we do here, awesome. If you don't, anytime the previous video gets at least 50 likes, we're going to throw a comment. So anyone who leaves a like and then leaves a comment, you get thrown into random.org, and we randomize it 3 times. The winner will receive a free week of MLB DFS content brought to you by FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Anytime a video gets 100 likes, one person, same thing. You have to leave a comment. You got to be a subscriber, but you're thrown into the randomizer. You win a free month. If we get 200 likes on a video, you win a free season pass to MLB. So let's get that out of the way real quick. We're going to randomize it 3 times, and on the 3rd time, that is the winner. Good luck to everybody. Now, here's number 1. Here's number 2, and the winner is Upper 510. Congratulations, Upper 510. I know you'll see this video. I see your comments every single video. Upper 510. Hit us up here on this, and then hit us up on Twitter at advisors_team for your free week. So that being said, Thursday normally it's a getaway day for most teams. As you can see, we've got 1 p.m. Eastern, 1, 3, 7, 7, 8 there. So we've got, I'm assuming, kind of looking that when we look through this, trying to see, yeah, so the main slate is at 107, so you're not going to have, let's see, what games will not be in it. So yeah, this is a weird, so there's 7 total games on the day. As of right now on Fanduel, they only have 4 games for the main slate. So this is going to be a GPP/tournament day for me, but we will go over everything. And I do have a bunch of ideas for the what I want to do on the website. A lot of people are asking for like DFS 101 videos or how to break stuff down, how to do stuff like that. And most of you know I have a 3-year-old, so it's very hard when my wife works to get all of this out there for you. But I promise you, I am trying to build the website as good as I can. And a big shout out to everyone who has subscribed FantasyTeamAdvisors.com FTA Plus for $10 a month right now, which is awesome for everybody. But it will go up a little bit with NFL coming. So I just want to make that known. Get it for $10 now, but once the All-Star break hits for baseball, we will start transitioning to start doing NFL as well. So that being said, we're jumping right into it. The first game on the day, Freddie Peralta versus Kevin Gausman. You've got Milwaukee Brewers versus Toronto Blue Jays. Peralta only faced some 7 plate appearances, 28.6K percentage, hasn't given up a hit. Gausman on this hand, 37 plate appearances, 200 batting average. We did in 35.1K. Really like Gausman in this one. I honestly like both of these. Like I said, with a main slate of only 4 games, you have to get a little creative. But most of the pitchers are going to be, for the most part, they're going to be in play. We'll kind of look at it to see who doesn't feel like that. On the flip side there, in this game, I really like Gausman. I like both of them. We saw that Toronto lost yesterday, but I do like Gausman here. If you want to look to see what bats have had success against Gausman, just in case you want to go against the trend and you want to take some Milwaukee bats, Brian Anderson's 3 for 10, so not much. Yelich is 1 for 9. Owen Miller 3 for 6 with 2 doubles. He should be very low owned. I know you want me to go over some of these positions, which I will try. Brian Anderson should be third base, but he is also outfield eligible. Yelich is eligible. Caratini is a catcher there. Let's see. Owen Miller, I want to say he's a shortstop, but he might not even start. Oh, no, he's second base, and he bats second. So that could be a cheaper option at $2,800 for Owen Miller. Abraham Toro, I believe, had a home run or a 2-run double on Thursday or on Wednesday. Rowdy Tellez is there, and then Freddie Peralta. So if you want to get a little creative, I don't mind. I don't think I would be stacking. If I'm taking anyone, it's probably Brian Anderson, probably Owen Miller there. And then the flip side of that, I mean, Freddie Peralta, when he's on, he's got some fantastic stuff. Just trying to see his numbers this year so far. 5-4 record, 4.64 ERA. So his ERA is kind of up there compared to normal. But in those starts, he has 58 Ks. Coming off a pretty bad start against San Francisco, 2.1 innings, 4 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, only 7 fantasy points. Been very up and down this season. Against Tampa Bay, 6 innings, 4 strikeouts, 3 earned runs, but got the W against Tampa Bay there. Trying to see if he's faced Toronto this year. He has not. And again, he's only faced 7 batters, so most likely he wasn't going to anyway. That being said, I really like Gausman here. If you want to get contrarian, you could look at Freddie Peralta, but it's Toronto, when their bats are on, they're hitting. They just didn't on Wednesday. Next game, Phillies at the Mets. You got Taijuan Walker versus Max Scherzer. Walker facing his former team from last year. Whether or not you can ascertain that facing his old team, the catchers, maybe the other pitchers know what pitches. I mean, they have a lot more. They probably have a lot more information on Taijuan Walker than just a normal scouting report, because they know what he throws. They know his mindset in certain counts. So that could work in the favor of the Mets bats. We'll kind of wait and see. He's been very hit or miss as well this year so far. Yeah, he's very down there at the price. Coming in, 4-2 record, 5.57 ERA. Hasn't faced the Mets this year. Coming off against Atlanta, 6.2 innings, 10 hits, 3 earned runs, 24 fantasy points. He hasn't had more than 25 fantasy points since May 7th against Boston. And the Mets, on paper, they should be hitting way better than they are. But if you want to look at the numbers, 30 plate appearances, 222 batting average, 6.7 K percentage. Not very high K percentage. He's not striking out that many. He hasn't struck against that game against Boston, 6 strikeouts. The time before that against the Dodgers, he had 6 strikeouts again, but he only had 8. He had 8 earned runs. So he's getting strikeouts, but he's also giving up some runs. So I'm probably just going to avoid Walker altogether. Scherzer, on the other hand, 180 plate appearances. Now, he hasn't looked Scherzer-like. I mean, on FanDuel, Gausman, Luzardo, Peralta are all more expensive than Scherzer, which you could not have told me that would be the case beginning of the year. Scherzer is lowering his ERA. It's down to 3.54. It's got a 4-2 record, 39 strikeouts. I mean, he pitched in Colorado, which we used him last week, and I said Scherzer is the kind of pitcher where he's a stud. Even in Coors, I'm going to have exposure to him. And we did. He went 7 innings. He gave up only 6 hits, 8 strikeouts, 1 earned run, got the W, 52 fantasy points. Same thing with that. We said Verlander because the same criteria. He got lit up. But again, the Coors effect is real. We know that. Now Scherzer gets to face the Phillies, which he has faced them a ton, being with the Mets and being with even with the Dodgers. He faced them, and then being with the Nationals for so long. He faced them. 180 plate appearances, a 207 batting average, 32.8 K percentage. It's crazy to think in a slate like this, I'd be like, nah, he's too expensive. He's the 4th most expensive option. he is in play for me. Probably looking at the bats. Let's see what Mets bats have had success against Taijuan Walker. Tommy Pham's only 1 for 9. Lindor's, he's outfield. Lindor is shortstop, 1 for 6. Mark Canha outfield, 3 for 5 with a home run. Starling Marte, 0 for 2. He's an outfielder. Brandon Nimmo's an outfielder. And Eduardo Escobar, I believe they have him playing, is it third? Let me see what he is. Eduardo Escobar on FanDuel isn't even projected to play right now. I believe he's third, though. Let's see. Yeah, so FanDuel has him as third. He is a switch hitter if he's in there, but it's not projected to be in there. But that's something to look at. I would be looking at this. Pete Alonso, I'd be looking at. I think he's still leading the league in home runs, so I'd be looking at him. Lindor, I'd be looking at. A little bit of Marte. Really depends on what lineup comes out there. And luckily, since this is early, we'll know the lineups pretty early in the day. Probably about 9 a.m., 10 a.m. at the latest. So we should be good. So I'm avoiding Walker. I would be looking at the Mets bats here, and I am looking at Scherzer against the Phillies. Then we got the next game. You got the Padres at the Marlins. You got Joe Musgrove versus Jesus Lizard. Musgrove, 79 plate appearances, 20.3 K percentage, 333 batting average. Flip side of that, the Jesus Lizard here, 38 plate appearances, 194 batting average, striking out 28.9% of those batters. I honestly kind of like the Jesus Lizard here a little bit more than Musgrove. At home, he's been doing pretty good. He's the second highest priced pitcher. We took him against the Angels last time. The problem is he only went 5 innings in that, 7 strikeouts, 1 earned run, got the W, only 39 fantasy points, which is good. I mean, he's averaging 33 fantasy points on FanDuel. Had an off game against the Giants. The time before that, he had 8 strikeouts, but he had 6 earned runs. Still got 21 fantasy points due to the strikeouts, but the earned runs killed him. Then against Washington, Arizona, 40 fantasy points. So, again, we are playing tournaments only today. Honestly, that's what I would do. Looking at that, I probably would lean towards you got to get a little creative. So I would be looking at Luzardo here against the Padres. And then if you want to look at the Miami bats that have had success against Musgrove in 79 plate appearances, Garrett Hampson, 5 for 13. Those numbers are all coming. I'm assuming they're all coming, or the majority of them are coming from when he was with the Rockies. Gene Segura, 6 for 17. I like that. It's 353. Joey Window, 2 for 8. Jorge Soler, 2 for 9. Luis Arraez, 0 for 4, but he's on base all the time. Just to look at what Luis Arraez is doing as a second baseman, Arraez is batting 381. He's batting 381. He's got 20 RBIs, 19 runs. You're not looking for RBI. You're not really looking for home runs, stolen bases, RBIs. You're just looking for base hits, and he is getting them. 2 hits in 3 straight games. He's had a hit. The last time he hasn't had a hit was May 23rd. So he's getting on base. He is a great option at second for you. Going to be expensive, though. I mean, when you're batting 381, and he's starting almost every game. That's the thing. He's not batting 381 because he has 15 plate appearances. He's batting 381 because he's going for the batting title. He is going for so he had the batting title in the American League last year with the Twins, and now he's going for the batting title in the National League. Now, we're, a third of the way through the season. He's still hitting that well. So it's crazy. So I would definitely look at Arraez. Don't really care about that. Yuli Gurriel, 4 for 6. We've got Brian De La Cruz, 1 for 5. So yeah, I'm definitely looking at a Marlins type stack here if I'm playing that. And I will take Luzardo against San Diego. Rockies at the Diamondbacks, Chase Anderson versus Zach Davies. I'm all over another. I mean, we've done it. I think every game this series, we've stacked Arizona against whichever pitcher has been with the Rockies. And Chase Anderson was DFA'd by the Rays, being terrible. And now he goes to Colorado, which isn't the best place for a pitcher. And against the Arizona Diamondbacks, 31 plate appearances, not much. Very low strikeout rate at 9.7, but a 310 batting average. So I'm looking at Chase Anderson here. Somehow, well, because he moved over. I don't like how it doesn't take into effect his numbers. But he's had 3 straight games of 5 innings. Against the Mets, 1 earned run. Against Miami, 2 earned runs. I don't care. Chase Anderson, 0-0 record, 1.31 ERA here. Don't care. I'm taking the Diamondbacks here. I bet it's Ketel Marte. Corbin Carroll probably hasn't seen him, but I love Corbin Carroll. Evan Longoria, he sits more than he starts, so this is something to watch. If he's in, it's a possibility for third baseman here. Ahmed's 2 for 9. Ketel Marte at second base, 2 for 5 with a double. Josh Rojas, most likely, if Longoria is out, Rojas will be in at third. That's a cheaper option. Christian Walker's 2 for 2, and just seems like he gets good barrel on the ball almost every single time. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. 0 for 1. So if I'm taking one, I'd be looking at Gurriel, Walker, Ketel Marte, and probably Corbin Carroll. That's what we've been going with lately, and it's really helped us. Flip side of that, Zach Davies against Colorado, 142 plate appearances, 12K percentage, 308 batting average. I'm stacking this game. I'm not looking at either of these pitchers. So you could look at the numbers. Chris Bryant's 18 for 52, 3 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs, batting .346. If he's in, he did rest on Wednesday. I don't think it was an injury thing. I think it was just a day of rest. So look for him to be in here again. Ryan McMahon, 5 for 19 with a double and 2 home runs. Elias Diaz he didn't start on Wednesday, 7 for 20 with 2 home runs. So, these 3 are fantastic right here. These 3 options, they've seen him a ton, enough to be comfortable with it. Just make sure they're in there. Montero, I believe, is a first baseman, 2 for 4 with 2 doubles. Harold Castro, 3 for 4 with a double there. Definitely looking at stacking this game. I would not be surprised. So what I'll tell you to do is probably about 10 a.m. Central. Normally by 10 a.m. on any given day, the Vegas numbers are out. So this is updated right here. MLB betting odds. So we can just look at the betting odds, and these are yesterday's, but they should be there. I bet this is the high. I bet this game right here has got the highest. I'm just going to assume, without having seen the numbers yet, that Zach Davies or the Arizona Diamondbacks will be at like a 6.4 or something like that. And then Colorado will be right behind them with implied run total. But you can see we've got the time, team, the pitcher, the ballpark, and then the money lines that they opened with, the money lines that are current, and then the implied run totals there. So you can see that. I would not be surprised if these 2 teams are the highest implied run totals on the slate. Taking advantage of it, I'm looking at stacking them. I think the Arizona Diamondbacks will be my number 1 stack. I think Colorado will be my number 2. Reds at the Red Sox. So this isn't technically on the first slate or the main slate, at least as of yet. They don't have a night slate yet. So looking at this, Hunter Green versus Chris Sale. Hunter Green can strike out a ton of people, but if he's off, he's getting hit hard. The faster the ball comes in, the faster it goes out. And this is in Boston. Fenway has given up the most amount of runs all season. And you can see that right here. MLB, you can look up ballpark stats ratings. So we'll look at this and we'll see what I'm talking about. So you just want to go by run total. Man, I need a new computer. This thing's so slow. So 316. Look at the difference between these ballparks. We are missing 2 through 7, but still, Fenway has given up this many runs. Run percentage, a ton. Both of these guys don't really see a ton. Chris Sale is an intriguing one. I know the number. It's only 13 plate appearances, 385. The Reds have been putting up runs, too. This is what I'm seeing. I don't know if I can trust either of these pitchers enough, but if you want to get crazy, since we are playing tournament-only type day, I could see you getting in here and throwing both of these guys out there. I mean, that is very contrarian. That'll probably be very contrarian pick, which means you might be under the radar, and if they do well, that might equal cash. If I'm taking a pitcher in this one, I'm not saying I'm going to, but if you were to ask me to take one, it'd probably be Chris Sale. But if we're going to look at bats in this one, the players that have, hasn't seen very many. Hunter Green's seen 11 plate appearances. Chris Sale, 13. So not much. Yeah, Kirk Casale, 3 for 7. Luke Maile, 2 for 6. Both have home runs against him, which is very easy to do here in this tin can ballpark, especially at left field, being 120 feet from home. So that being said, I don't mind taking hit batters in either of these teams. Probably I'll have some exposure if I'm playing, if these games are even an option. I would have some exposure to these, but I'd rather take the bats in this one. Guardians at the Twins is next. You got Tanner Bibby versus Pablo Lopez. Bibby's never faced the Twins before, so that's kind of just something. I mean, they're vying for the division here. This is a division rivalry, if you want to call it a rivalry, I guess. Looking at that, he's never faced them before, so that is one. And if you've been here before, you've been with us, you know that I'm a big, hey, if a pitcher hasn't seen this team before, I'll take a shot at them, especially only in tournaments, and this is a tournament day. Flip side of that, Pablo Lopez, 36 plate appearances, a .313 batting average, only 19.4 K percentage. So what Cleveland bats have had success? I'm just going to say right off the bat, it's probably going to be Josh Bell. It's probably going to be Jose Ramirez. Who else on the team has been in the National League? Jose Ramirez hasn't. But Josh Bell's probably number one. Yeah, 3 for 13 with 2 doubles. Ahmed Rosario being with the Mets, 2 for 11 with a home run. Zunino, 2 for 3. Jose Ramirez, 1 for 3. Andres Jimenez, 2 for 2 with a double. So I honestly will take a little bit of Bibby here, but I don't like Lopez. I'll probably look at Cleveland bats if I'm playing much at all today. And then the final game, you got the Angels at the Astros, Reed Detmers versus to be announced. We saw the Angels just put up a ton of runs yesterday. They put up, I think, 10 or 12. Shohei had 2 home runs. Trout had 1 home run. We don't know who Houston's going to be pitching right now, so we kind of have to wait on that. Detmers, on the other hand, 57 plate appearances, 265, 24.6 K percentage. All my knowledge of baseball and heart say the Astros should hit him hard, but they have not been playing well. So looking at this, Bregman's 1 for 5, Altuve's 2 for 7, 1 home run. Jeremy Pena 4 for 7 with a double. Kyle Tucker's 2 for 8. Chas McCormick 2 for 3, a double there. I will take some exposure to Reed Detmers here because I think a lot of people will be off of it because it is the Astros. But I'll be playing very light today. My suggestion would be take the day off, but I know it's hard to do that. I know most of you probably won't do that. Play light today. It's a weird slate. I honestly feel, looking at this, once the Vegas numbers come out and the batter trends come out, I'll have a little bit more of a feel for it. But something tells me it's going to be one of those weird days where someone throws a no-hitter or someone you're not expecting just unbelievably does something stupid, like hit 3 home runs in a game or something like that. Just, it's one of those weird slates where not a lot of people jump out right at the bat. Like, you'll see. We've got a bunch of information there. You can see all the information. You got the BVPs, you got stolen base targets, contrarian stacks, meaning. So let's take a look at contrarian stacks. So this is what people have been asking. So other people, other websites, other personalities will call them like leverage stacks, meaning you want to get leverage on the field. This is who you would stack. So for Wednesday, Colorado was the number 1 stack for leverage due to the salary on FanDuel. I went with Arizona. Right off the bat, we were granted with 3 runs in the first inning and then I think 2 in the third. And they were all batters that we chose in our stacks. And then you got San Diego, New York, and stuff like that. So these are ones where the average salary of the players come into play. You can sort about however you want it, points per dollar or ranks per dollar there. We've got our cheat sheet, prop bets, so you can see different bets that we like. We have pitching bets and hitting bets. So Hitting bets would be Aaron Hicks projection of 0.09 or 0.1 or 0.9. FanDuel and DraftKings both have a projection of over a half a hit, which we took. He hit it. Aaron Judge, and it goes all the way down by alphabetical order. So you can check that out. The odds are for FanDuel and DraftKings. If you guys don't have a FanDuel or DraftKings sportsbook link, you can, if once you sign up with the website for $10 a month, you can sign up here. You can hit this, sign up on FanDuel Sportsbook or DraftKings Sportsbook, and show us proof that you signed up and deposited. So if you deposit, I think they match up to, if you deposit 200, they match up to 200 or something like that. If you sign up and use our links, you will get the MLB season for free. So that being said, you'll get the MLB and NFL season for free, which each season is usually about $99 for a season pass. So it's $100, almost $200 in savings by signing up with these links. So if you have questions, let us know. We will be back tomorrow with, a large 15-game Friday slate, which we're very excited about. And yeah, hopefully you did well. If you did do well following our information the previous nights, let us know down below. Love to see it. Again, if you want to try to win a free week of MLB content, all you got to do is like the video, be a subscriber, tell me who's going to hit a home run, what inning, and the distance traveled. The distance traveled is just a tiebreaker, but we do need at least the inning and we need the player and the inning. The distance is a tiebreaker. So let's say two people say Aaron or Mike Trout 4th inning, but only one person says let's say 410 feet. If only one person says the distance, they're going to be deemed the winner. So that is just a thought. If you guys want, you don't have to. But we are here. We'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully you did well. Good luck tonight, everybody. Let's bring home some bacon. Peace.